Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Kaguya-Sama Love is War. Last time around, Miyuki Shirogane wants girls to fall for him. This is where, because he's no longer the student council president, Shirogane got some sleep and he actually looks decent and presentable. Nagisa Kashiwagi wants to console. This is because Kaguya does not like well-kempt and well-slept Shirogane and asked for advice, and eventually figured out that it's okay that she loves him when he looks dead outside. Not dead inside, just dead outside. So, Miyuki Shirogane wants to sing. Shirogane can't sing, and so there was a whole training montage with Fujiwara suffering through having to teach him again, and then he could sing. And then Kaguya wants to kick them down. That's where Kaguya had a meeting with Miko Iino about postponing her bid for student council president for the next year, but instead it all went awry. And now the election day is upon us. So that's where we are today. It is election day, the all-important day. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Kaguya-Sama Love is War. Here we go. Oh, wait, it's Love is War? I forgot about that. Sorry, I'm off my game now. Here we go. Oh, you know, that... Did anyone else think this episode was so different from everything else? I mean, like, you know, they did, you know, they put up the thing of like, oh, I want to make Miko Iino smile. But it's like, the narrator didn't pop in until the end. And, you know, it wasn't a love battle. It was just the election. Like, this was a special episode, basically. And I'm glad for it. I'm glad. That was an episode about, you know... It was an episode about them, you know? About them as real people. And we have a new member. I'm glad that she likes shaved heads, because I'm gonna have to do that at some point. You can tell. I've lost a lot of hair. At some point, I'm just gonna have to get rid of all of this. You know what I've thought, though? I want to get hats. And I've got some hats up here. But I want to get hats, like, I want Luffy's hat, because I've been getting into One Piece recently. I've been watching the Netflix show and I've been reading the manga. I want Luffy's hat, but I want, like... Can I get, like, a hat, but, like, around the brim is, like, hair? So it looks like I have hair? And then I thought, could I have Luffy's hat, which technically, with Shanks' hair, which would make it Shanks' hat. Because it was Shanks' hat originally. So, I don't know. Anywho, none of that is important. I don't know why that's the first takeaway I have of this episode, but... little Miko. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. She just needs a little help, you know? In the same way that Shirogane says, you know, the only reason he's not completely useless is because he has his team. He has Fujiwara, Ishigami, and Kaguya. But Miko needs that too. And, I mean, her friend is one thing, but... she needs more help. So I like that. It's the one thing she can't do is public speaking, which is interesting. Because, like, well, okay, I guess this brings up a difference of... This sounds kind of funny, but there's a difference apparently between public speaking and public yelling. And that's an interesting distinction to have with Miko, that public yelling is easy to her. It's so easy to her. She just has to, like, she can yell things out, But public speaking to a wide audience, she can't do that, which is interesting. And so I like that the solution is, or even she can talk to individuals, Like, she would go and berate people for not following the rules, even upperclassmen, Or, like, when like, the scene where she had the megaphone, she was still, like, talking to someone specifically, But just public speaking she can't do. So I like that Shirogane sees that and entices her into a debate, basically. Which, honestly, I'm kind of amazed there isn't a debate between... I mean, I don't know. Like, this is student council, obviously. It's not the United States presidential election. The fact that they just were not going to have a debate, so he went up and did that himself, enticed her to a debate. Because it's like, he goes up and it's like, oh, all right, that's enough. We don't need to hear any more of your ridiculous ideas. And basically, like, provoking her into eventually pointing at him and saying, my ideas are not stupid. And so, it's easier for her to bounce off of him than try to speak before, a live studio audience, basically. So I like that. I like that idea of making it a debate. And when it's a debate, and when she has a singular person to talk to, then she becomes the Miko Iino that everyone knows, So I like that. I really like that. And it's good, honestly. It's good because it's like, especially too for, like, that's good for the people, for the voters as well. Because, look, I'm going to be honest. If I was there, I'm an idiot. I have trouble listening to things, Like, the most is like when, well, not the most as in the hardest time I have with it, but like when I'm in a reaction, I am locked in and I do my damnedest. And even still, I miss a couple things. But man, sometimes if you're talking to me, I will accidentally zone out for 3 sentences and I will come back and I'll just be like, yeah. So that's the thing, is like, it could be difficult for me. So if I was listening to Kaguya's speech and then, like, okay, so I'd have to listen to the glasses girl first. Then I would listen to Kaguya. Then I would try listening to Miko. And then I would try listening to Shirogane. Like, it's the thing of humans remember the first thing they hear and the last thing they hear. Now, the first thing I would hear is Glasses Girl. The last thing I would hear is Shirogane. That would not put me in a fair, in a fair thing. And especially when Miko's having trouble as well. So having it be a debate where you have a back and forth between the two of them is better for the voters, for the listeners, basically, So that's good. That's good. I'm glad that they had that. And they went on for half an hour. That's impressive. Half an hour the two of them had a debate. And it's a good, healthy debate because she has some points. She has genuine and good points. She takes it a bit far with all the boys have to shave their heads and everything. But, like, the debate they had of, like, expressing yourself, and being creative, that's what Shirogane says, and she counters that with, well, that's why there are clubs, So you have this sort of expressive, creative outlet, But if that's going to be the case, then, can they even do that if they are forced to shave their heads completely, So I like that. I like that back and forth. That was really, really good, And I like seeing some of her backstory. It's like she doesn't begrudge her parents for not being there because they're doing important work. Her father is a judge, and her mother is giving out vaccines. That's amazing. That's amazing, you know? Her mother is a doctor. And she doesn't begrudge them because it's not their fault. They're doing good work. The problem is people. The problem is people. Her father wouldn't have to do so much in court if so many people weren't terrible, you know? And so she always sticks to what's right. Follow the rules. Even if it's not always fun, that's what she sticks by. And you really can't blame her for that, you know? So yeah, it's like she is a woman of conviction, a young woman with conviction. She just needs help. In the same way, in the exact same way that Shirogane does, you know? They both need help. And now they can help each other. They can help each other. They can help each other in their roles now. So that's really great. And yeah, and it was a close election. I like that it was a difference of 40 votes. It was 320 to 280 in favor of Shirogane. I mean, that is pretty close. That's within 40 students, so that's a total of 600 students in all. That was pretty close. He just got over half of them, you know? And yes, by doing the debate, it did make it close. It was not a landslide, and to an extent it did, sort of. It made them panic, even though they knew he would win. You know, it was sort of a, well, we had this whole thing, we had everything going. Even, you know, Fujiwara putting a teacher next to the anti-Shirogane camp, you know? And having Hayasaka as a plant, you know? So that was good. And Kaguya just taking it all, you know, taking it all in. I do love though that moment of, you know, Kaguya finding Hayasaka, you know, so she can be comforted, you know. And that was a nice, I mean, how often do we get to see Hayasaka smile and like genuinely smile, not the fake smile she was putting on when she was trying to seduce Shirogane, but like a genuine smile. And that I just love, as soon as Fujiwara walks by, just pushes Kaguya to the ground, and within like 2 frames she disappeared, you know. I love how much Hayasaka is a ninja, you know. And I love on her phone, she's just keeping track of her mental state. And it's just, oh, that's hilarious. So that was fun. And then I do like that the conversation there, you know, where, you know, Shirogane is apologizing for what he's done, but, you know, he explains, you know, like, oh, I need the 3 of you. You make me so much better, and I want you to be my vice president. I like just how you know, simple it is, just the okay sign, and he's just like, yes, and then he runs off. So we're back, and we got 3 big things in this term. We have the sports festival, the My Hero Academia Sports Festival, the school festival, where hopefully it's not the Doki Doki Literature Club festival, and the Clash trip. The Clash trip to somewhere around the world. So we've got a lot stacked. I like that, actually. I like that prepares us, like, hey, we've got a lot of stuff coming up, you know? And we're halfway through this season. Isn't that incredible? We're halfway through the season, and I can't wait to see where we are going in the second half. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Kaguya-Sama reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.